morning. Let's start out standing today. I want you to take a stance with your heels about as wide as your shoulders and your toes turned out. So if you're familiar with the bar terminology, second position, where you could do a plie. When we are doing things where you're bending your knees, you want to angle your knees out over your toes. All right, so let's just start out just getting connected with your breath, loosening up your shoulders a little bit. I want you to come down into a plie, let your arms cross in front of you, and then you're just going to swing them up overhead. And I want you to take an inhale as you're going up, imagining those ribs spreading, exhale as you come back down. And be gentle. You can see I'm putting a little bounce into my legs, and that's just to help the momentum of the arms swing. But the arms stay loose, you're soft at the elbows, soft at the wrists and the fingers. 2 more times like that. And 1 more time. All right, I want you to settle back down into your plie. You're gonna make fists with your hands so your arms feel really toned. And we're just gonna take a nice smooth rotation to the side. You're gonna exhale as you twist to one side, inhale back to the center. Exhale to rotate, and inhale to center. So pretend you're like squeezing little dumbbells like you were in a bar class. And I want you to notice where the motion comes from when we keep this tone. You should feel really connected through the shoulder girdle because we're linking the lats to the fists and we're bringing tone into that whole system from the low back right up to the shoulders. 1 more to each side. Exhale to twist, compressing your abs. Inhale, center. 1 more time, back to center. Come on, plie for a second. All right, we're gonna do a second version of rotating. I want you to go back into plie and you're gonna pivot, turning into a lunge. Now, reach your arms forward with your palms open. Rotation will actually be back in a second. I want you to start with a small shimmy where you're reaching one arm forward and the other arm back. And now we've got a different sensation in your arms, like this slippery, glidey, slide movement of the shoulder blades on the ribs. Now, if I want to incorporate that into a rotation, I'm going to have you twist and bend your back elbow like you're doing archery. So I'm going towards that back knee first, and then returning to the center. And we'll still alternate then the front knee, and then the center. So now with your hands open, your arms are more like blades, and you're focusing on the length in that straight arm, fingertips reaching away from the shoulders. And notice how you're using a pulling motion against a pushing motion to twist. We're gonna draw back that sharp elbow and twist. 1 more to the other side, freeze there. Okay, to get to the other side, let's do a little rainbow rotation. So you're gonna take one arm and then the other to switch. Let's go back and forth a few times. 1 is never enough. And over and drop. Again, put a little bounce in your legs just to help those transitions. We kind of hit these different marks in the middle and the first side, middle and the second side. 1 more time each way. And let's hang out over here. All right, go back to that slippery slide and glide. Okay, and just feel that flow. Almost like your arms and your shoulder blades are actually a shawl on your body and you're just, or a towel, right? And you're drying yourself off. All right, now into our twist. So I'm gonna bend that elbow, rotate, look back at the elbow, bring it to the front on the inhale, exhale to the other side. Check in on your legs. Are you still down in a good lunge? You wanna feel most of the weight of the torso and the hips over that back thigh. Keep that back heel off the ground. Go back to that sensation of using push and pull against each other to twist you. 1 more to each side. And exhale, twist and center. Shove your rainbow again. Arm up and over, hit the center, rotate to the other side. Middle, other side. And let's just bebop back and forth. Open and twist. Weight in the heels when you hit that center plie. Next time you're in the middle, hang out here. Come on back up for a second. All right, just shake your arms a little bit. I'm gonna have you walk your feet in to parallel, hip width apart. And I want you to do a would you kill me if I said never mind, let's go back into second position? I just changed my mind about what I wanted to do. Actually, I wanted to talk a little bit more about that, the fist, no fist thing. So let's take on a side bend. Keep the fist feeling again. And I want you to just alternate doing a side bend and feel where it lands in your body if you make a fist. So again, I'm trying to engage tone, coming up the whole system right out through the fist. Making a fist should help you feel sturdy, the way you would have to brace if you were gonna punch something, or the way you were gonna brace if you were getting punched. And that does let you still create a stretch, but also really feels like a limit. Now, if we do it with your hands over, and I want you to reach like you're really trying to grab something right where the wall meets the ceiling, and then back to the center, and over. And let's do a few like that. Can you sense a difference? This should switch you from feeling like your lats are the tone you're trying to stretch. And in this version, the lats become wings. They become part of how you're reaching. And so you have to remember that, like if we're tense all the time, we lose our ability to stretch. And stretch can be actual stretching, but more often it's like reaching for the plate on the high shelf. Or like if you're playing tennis and you're going for a shot, you almost can't reach. We need our strength to be a lengthening strength, instead of a tension. One more to the other side. Reaching away, and then back up. I hope I didn't botch that lecture. You know where I was going with that. All right, let's go down onto the mat, kneeling on your hands and your knees. All right, let's bring the attention into your spine now. We're gonna go through a few cat stretches. I want you to work with your toes curled under. We'll do a couple cats knee down, then I'd like to transition you into a hover for more challenge. All right, so flowing with the natural rhythm of your breath. As you exhale, tuck your tail under and flex your spine. You're gonna use that phase of breath to draw the abs in, to round, and then as you inhale, stick out your tailbone, elongate the spine, come through neutral into an extension. When you exhale, feel your breath compress your abs. You wanna drop your head and your tailbone towards each other, and then inhale, fill the chest with the air. Feel it lift as you come into your extension. One more time like this. Exhale, tuck your tail under, round your back. And then inhale, extend. Okay, come back just to a neutral in the middle. All right, let's play around with just getting into a knee hover once or twice. So I want you to spread your fingertips out, toes are ready to go. You're gonna lean forward a little bit into your hands. And then when you exhale, start to push your knees away from the floor while also sticking the weight back in your feet a little bit. Stay for a breath in. Exhale to come back down. Let's do one more practice one. Inhale, you're gonna shift into the fingers a little. Exhale, lift the knees, slightly press back towards the toes. Hold there, breathe in. Exhale, release it back down. All right, this time let's go into the hover to stay. We'll do a few cats there. If that's too much for you, put your knees down gently at any time. All right, again, shift it forward. Start to push yourself up and slightly back, find that hover. Now, one more breath in. When you exhale, tuck your tail under, round your spine, and as you look at your knees, make sure they stay at the same height. When you inhale, stick out your tail, flatten your back, come past that into a little extension, twice more. Exhale, tuck your tail under, pull those abs up, round, and hang your head. Inhale, stick out your tail, open the chest, lift your chin. One more time. Exhale, tuck your tail under, pull the belly up, drop your head down. Now stick out your tail, lengthen the back, lift your head. Okay, drop your knees, just shift back for a sec. All right, back into all fours. Before we go down onto your back, I want to play around with just playing with a little side to side sway of your hips, or we're just getting a little hip hike. And then I'm going to combine that with a reaching motion of the arms. So when I take my hips to the right, I'll go slow at first, I'm going to take the left arm and reach across. So now the hip and this hand are going the same way. I'm going to come back to center and take it to the other side. So this is no longer a quick wag of your hips. Instead, you're doing this weight shift and a side bend of your spine. Okay, so you see the pattern. What I'd like you to add to that, go to it and sit back slightly. Okay, so we get that angle, angulation, and then lean. And so now I'm creating a different kind of stretch, or we should have felt this region already, but I'm pinning my hand down as the fixed point and pulling away from it. And over. One more to each side. And last one. And return. All right, let's head down onto your back. All right, knees bent, feet flat. We're gonna go hands behind your head. Let's get our attention into your abs, specifically your obliques. We're gonna do a round of the ab prep. Let's just start out basic in case you're not familiar with it. Take a breath in before you start. When you exhale, tip your chin down slightly as you're curling your head and shoulders off the mat and look at your legs. And then inhale to come back down. Try to see your legs as long as you can. As you exhale, we're gonna start that movement with your gaze, looking towards the thighs, and then we just follow it up. And then support your head with your hands so you can keep looking that way on the way down. Exhale, curl forward. Feel how your breath slides the ribs to the hips. Inhale, back down. Now your abs are working as they get longer to control that return. 2 more. Every concussion we don't get is thanks to the abs easing us down. 1 more time. Exhale, curl forward. And inhale, back down. Take one leg up into the air. We're gonna hold that leg in tabletop, and I'm gonna have you place your opposite hand against the inside of your knee. Now you're gonna exhale, flex forward, and have your leg and that hand push against each other as you curl. Inhale as you come back down. And again, exhale, round forward, and inhale to return. Now that pressing of the leg against the hand will work your inner thigh muscle, but it also, by doing that, makes the opposite side of the obliques have to tense a little more to counterbalance that. 1 more time, exhale, and inhale, return. Now, if we do the same leg, but we switch hands, I wanna add an oblique twist. So you're gonna do that same pressure, but now it's the knee pressing out into the hand. As you exhale, you're gonna curl up. First, just go forward, that normal crunch. Okay, push down that opposite hip to resist. Take a breath in. When you exhale, you're gonna rotate towards the knee, and then inhale, turn back to the center. Exhale, twist, giving pressure into your hand that helps you turn towards it. Inhale, return. Now I'm twisting and increasing the flexion so that shoulder blade is lifting off the mat, but the hip stays down. So I've got to separate the upper body from the lower body. 1 more time. Exhale, rotate. Inhale to return. All right, let's try both of those on the other side. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay, so the hand you were just using becomes the hand you're using again, because now it's the opposite hand. I get that to tabletop, I get the pressure. Hey, by the way, if you happen to have short arms, it could totally be here. Sorry, I always forget. We're not all built the same. You'd think I would be doing this long enough to know that. On your exhale, nod your chin, curl up, inhale, back down. I'm laughing, going, oh, there goes that illusion that these workouts are for you, not me. Exhale up, and inhale. No, we're all in it together. Exhale, curl forward. Give me that pressure against the leg the whole time. Inhale, drop. 2 more times, nod your chin, flex forward, look towards your leg, lower back down. 1 more time, exhale, lift, inhale, return. All right, same leg, opposite hand. Get yourself up into flexion with an exhale. So you're just looking at the leg situation. Take 1 more breath in. When you exhale, rotate towards that stabilizing pressure. Inhale, back to the center. And again, rotate and lift slightly. Oh, that's nice about turning away from you now because you could see my shoulder blade coming off. And lower. Now the leg that's still on the ground, give a little pressure into that big toe. That'll help you stabilize that side of the pelvis. 1 more time. And then back to the center. Let's put both hands behind your head. Let's go a little harder. Okay, I'm gonna have you rock into imprint, so your low back slightly flattened. Lift up one leg and then the other into tabletop. Now we're gonna do a round of single leg extension right into obliques, so follow my lead. Nod your chin, flex forward to look at your legs. Now hold your upper body still, and you're gonna alternate reaching out one leg as you exhale. Inhale while you're switching, then exhale as you finish reaching out the other leg. Here's how it sounds. Let's do 4 and 3, 2, freeze in the last one. Let's add a little twist to it. Exhale, rotate towards your bent knee. Switch through the center, exhale. Inhale and rotate, and twist. Let's do 5 more on each side, and over. 4, and reach. Keep curling up as you twist. Remember, we're intensifying that flexion as well as the rotation. Last one on each side, over, and over, back to the center. Drop back down. Give your knees a little squeeze in your chest. Drop your feet. All right, flipping over onto your stomach. Let's make a W shape with your arms. I want your legs parallel. They can be together or slightly separated. Sense the front of your body against the mat right now. To create a neutral pelvis, we want to feel the 2 hip bones, the ASIS, which you can rock side to side to feel those, and your pubic bone. So that triangle is your sense of where neutral is. I want you to give a little pressure to your pubic bone, which will help you to activate your glutes just enough to stabilize your pelvis. Now let's lift up into an extension with your upper body. Before you start, slide your shoulders down gently, just so you can feel them stable, but not depressed on your ribs. Give a little pressure into your forearms. And as you inhale, start to look towards the end of your mat, which will begin you lifting your head. Then press away with your forearms and peel your ribs off the mat till there's just one or two left touching. Stay here and take a breath in. Oh, that's not how I told you to breathe. Lower back down. All right, let me try that again. You're just gonna inhale and inhale and inhale. 2 breaths is what I wanted to do. Inhale, head and chest lift, shoulder blades draw back, chest is wide. And now, exhale, compress your abs as you lower back down to flat. And inhale, elongate the neck as you lift up. Your gaze goes off the mat towards the floor, shoulder blades come back. And then when you exhale, compress your abs, slide those ribs down with the force of your breath. Visualize that inhale lifting you. You fill with air, you press away from the floor. And then when you exhale, you empty and you deflate back down. You're gonna come up one more time and you're gonna stay. Get comfy. So we got at least one rib down, the support of the forearms, so my upper back is lifting me, but I've got kickstands on the side. Now, curl your toes under. This one's gonna feel silly. I'm gonna have you take your feet and your forearms, and you're just gonna jostle yourself forward and back while you hold your extension. Okay, so this is just giving us an opportunity to release some tension you might be holding in the diaphragm. We're just gonna shake that up a little. Do I sound funny as I'm talking? I feel very funny. And let's do about 15 more seconds of this. Try to keep pushing your breastbone up, opposing those lower ribs being anchored down. Open the chest wide. Let the inhale fill all the way up into your chest. Almost there. Keep that impulse going from your feet. And let's just ease ourselves back down. All right. One more down here. Let's go to a breaststroke. So we're going to use that extension and a low hover. Take a breath in to prepare. Stay in your hover and reach your arms overhead like you're a superhero flying. Now inhale, circle your arms to your hips as you lift your head and chest. Exhale, dive down back into hover, reach your arms through. Inhale, circle around, float back up. Exhale, take it nice and low to the mat. Inhale, circle, sliding those shoulders down. 3 more times. Exhale, dive low. And circle, lift up. And 2 to drop it down. Circle around. 1 more time. Exhale, low. And inhale, circle high. Good, come all the way back down to your flat. Let's go from there into a shell stretch. Sit back onto your heels. And then round forward. When you're in this pose, your legs can be together or slightly separated, but try to draw the abs in to help you create a flexed spine. And then when you breathe in, breathe right into your back, feel the ribs opening away from the spine. And then when you exhale, draw the abs in a little more. Keep drawing them away from the thighs. 1 more breath in. Then when you exhale, let's roll back up to sitting. All right, half roll back next. Okay, so I'd still call this ab work. It's just gonna have a different feel to it than what you did on the floor. We're gonna work with your knees bent, either with flat feet or your toes off the mat, and a little space between your legs. For your starting position, you want to achieve a vertical pelvis where you're sitting right on the front of your sit bones. If you can't like this, grab a pillow and get your hips a little higher than your feet. Let's reach your arms forward at chest height. And I want you to take a big breath in. Then when you exhale, you're gonna round forward from your upper body. Curl yourself over your knees and just keep sensing your sit bones. Make sure you're still on them when you get there. If you've rocked back, just take that whole shape forward. All right, now you're gonna take 1 more breath in. Then as you exhale, roll back your pelvis. Now I want you on purpose, rock off your sit bones towards your sacrum, and you're gonna keep going down as far as you can while keeping your lower spine flexed. Then when you inhale, dive forward over your knees. Exhale, draw the abs in, roll back, and you'll feel like you're tucking up your pubic bone. I want you to stay aware of that spot. Inhale, dive forward. When you begin rolling back, you'll notice your abs right away. They're working isometrically to keep the shape. Your glutes are tucking, your hip flexors are getting longer. Inhale, curl forward, and exhale, roll back. Slide down the top of the shoulders, dive forward towards your legs. 2 more times. Keeping your arms parallel to the floor as you roll down. Inhale, flex forward. 1 more time, rolling back. And inhale, forward. Let's put a rotation into this. Let's sit up tall, arms still reaching forward in front of you. Now when you roll back, it's the same mechanics, but I'm gonna round my spine on the way down, and with my upper body, I'm gonna have a little rotation, reaching that back arm towards the opposite wall. Inhale, I'm gonna swing it forward as I come back up. Now roll back again. You'll see something different when I turn away from you. You see my low back is still flexed. The twist is coming from my upper body. Inhale, back up. And that's important. So I want to feel the sit bones still rolling off of them, even across the pelvis. Inhale, back up. The bones of your low back are designed to allow a lot of flexion and extension, but not rotation. So I'm giving them their proper job, whereas the ribs have much more potential to twist. Inhale up, and exhale, roll back. So sometimes strain you feel in your back might be from trying to move from the wrong side into the spine. 4 more times, roll back, open, nice wide chest. Inhale, lift up. And 3 to curl down, look towards that back hand. Inhale up, 1 more to each side, roll down, opening. Inhale, lift, last time, roll back and twist. And inhale, back up. All right, legs out straight. Let's try a full roll up. I'm gonna have you round forward over your legs, hands reaching a little higher than your feet. Just like to say, you're like pretend you're wearing clown shoes. All right, take a breath in there. When you exhale, start to roll back your pelvis, tuck your tailbone under on the way down, and you're gonna keep lowering 1 vertebra at a time until you're flat and reach your arms overhead, about halfway towards the floor. All right, now take an inhale, arms up over your chest. Exhale, nod your chin and curl forward. If you can't get all the way up in a sit-up, I want you to do a partial sit-up and just stay there and wait for me. And when I start to come back, meet me, and then finish your way down. So that endurance of waiting is how you're gonna get stronger. Inhale, arms up to the ceiling. It's one of the ways you'll get stronger. Nod your chin, curl forward. If you're going all the way up, get to those sit bones, even if you have to soften the knees here. Inhale, start to roll back. Tuck that tail under. I want to push that energy down the back of my legs, out the heels, lay out flat. And when I say energy, I'm not saying like weird woo-woo energy. It's where your attention should be in the muscle contraction. In order for your hip flexors, I hate it when it cuts me off in the sentence. I'll get you on the next one. I want you to feel it while it's happening. Arms up, nod your chin, curl forward over your legs. Okay, what I was saying is, on the way down, your hip flexors are working as they get longer. But since so many of us are tight there, it's hard for them to learn how to let go without an accompanying tension from another muscle, which in this case is your hip extensors, the hamstrings and the glutes, getting tighter to help those hip flexors let go. This will be the last one. Ready? So you want to roll back, keep flexing the feet, push out through the heels. That's how we stimulate this tuck, tuck, tuck. Unravel, reach overhead. Go ahead and circle your arms around to your sides. All right, let's bend your knees. Pull up your pants if they fell off. I'm gonna have you leave your right knee bent and then extend your left leg into the air. First with your knee bent a little bit, so we can just make sure your pelvis is neutral. We're gonna go into 1 leg circles. Now, if you're flexible enough in your hamstrings, you could do this with a straight leg, but the way to know is if you're still neutral when you straighten your legs. If you flattened your low back, let's put a little bend in your knee so we can get a better circle. We're just trying to make a circle in the hip joint. All right, so then visualize your leg has a crayon attached to the end, and we'll use that to draw the circle. As you breathe in, swing the leg towards your midline and down away from your head. Then when you exhale, take it out to the side and back up to the ceiling. Breathe in, circle towards the center and away from you. Exhale, around and back up. Let's do 3 more times. Try to inhale into the back and sides of your ribs. When you exhale, use your breath to connect with your pelvic floor and the deep abdominals to stabilize you. Inhale across and down. And you can give just a little pressure into your arms. I want everything to feel like a full body exercise whenever possible. So asking the arms and shoulders to help with stability is okay if they're not doing it all. Let's go the other way. Breathe in as the leg falls to the outside and down. Exhale, stabilize through the trunk as you lift the weight of the leg. Inhale, keep your opposite hip heavy as you start that circle. And exhale, around and up. 3 more times, breathe in. And exhale, around and lift. And 2. Exhale up. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale, back up. All right, I want you to take that leg, cross it over your other leg. Before we switch sides, take your arms out to the side, and then we're just gonna rotate side to side. Drop your knees to one side, and then the other. And this will create a rotation in your hips. The arms are counterbalancing that. We're using them as an anchor or a weight to resist. 1 more to each side. All right, then let's bring your arms back down by your sides. the working leg becomes the stabilized leg, you'll take your other leg up to the ceiling. First in a tabletop just to set everything, and then you can slowly extend it towards the ceiling. All right, away we go. Inhale, leg circles towards your midline and down away from your head. Exhale, out to the side, around and up to the ceiling. And again, breathe in, circle across and down, and then exhale, around and up. Let's do 3 more this way. Exhale, circle and lift. And 2, around and up. One more time, inhale across and down. Exhale, knit those ribs together, circle and lift. Let's go out to the side and down as you inhale. Exhale, around and up. Imagine you weigh more on the opposite side to anchor you. Exhale to lift. 3 more times like that. And circle up. 2. And one more time, nice 3-dimensional breath. And exhale, around and up. All right, so we're gonna lower that leg to cross it on the other one and take your arms out to the side. Almost forgot that. Drop your knees to one side and then the other. Again, hips go with the weight of the legs. Opposite shoulder blade, resist the weight of the legs falling. Let's do 4. And 1 more to each side. Good. All right. Let's get off your back. All right, a little planky plank work. We're going to start out just with a little walking out and in combo to work our way towards a plank. So your toes are curled under like we did before, and once again, we'll begin in that knee hover. So shift your weight into your fingers. Now bring those knees up as you shift back toward your feet. And then we're just gonna step out, one leg and then the other, and then walk it back in again. And then one leg and the other, walk it back in. Now go back out to both legs straight. And now I want you to take one leg off the mat, take the other one behind it. Step them both back to center. Now go the other way. Off the mat, other leg behind it, step it back to center. 1 more to each side. So the first leg, second leg crosses, back to center. Then we step off, cross over, back to the center. Okay, drop your knees down and just take your weight off your hands before we do that again, leading with the other leg. All right. I shifted my legs way out. Just make sure you're back where you started again. Do as I say, not as I do. All right. Weight into your fingies. Push yourself up, shift that weight back. Now let's walk it out. So I lead one leg and then the other, and I step it forward, forward. Reach out and out, forward and forward. Let's go out to stay. Now I'm gonna step off to the side and then cross over and then come back into the middle. Step to the side, cross over, walk it back to the middle. 1 more each way. Step off, cross, center, center, step off, cross, center, center. Walk it in, drop it on down, sit it on back. 1 more plank, just to do a calf stretch. All right, so this time, go ahead and just walk yourself back into that plank, and we're gonna weight shift. Back toward your heels, forward to the hands. Shift back, shift forward. Let's do 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Knees down, drop it back. Did I say that was the last one? I shouldn't open my big mouth and say things like that. I would now like you to do a plank to downward dog, please. All right, plank it again. Now, push yourself back with the heels of your hands and come to a pike, and then return. Now, if that doesn't feel like you're getting enough stretch, walk your hands in a little closer. Let's try pike again. Sit bones nice and wide. It helps to think of a flat back and actually elevating your shoulder blades, so we're getting more push away with your hands. And then back. Let's do 1 more like that. And if that's enough, just end it there. But if you want a little more intensity, let's go to it. And then I want you to reach across. Bring that hand down, across. Let's do a total of 6. And I'm trying to angle, so butt still up as I twist. Back still as flat as possible. One word each side, twisting, middle, twisting, middle. Sit that plank again. Drop your knees, sit back towards your heels. All right, you're done. Bring one hand into your side and just take a little rainbow stretch across to intensify that lat stretch one more time. Today wasn't all about the lats, huh? I just want you to really, I want you to feel them. We talk so much about the core, but like lats are definitely my top 5 muscle groups, just because it's nice to imagine them like wings. Like whether we're little fairy princesses or, I don't know, just anything that can fly, I'd be happy with. Roll yourself back up. Hi, yeah, you're done. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon.